Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we're looking at X-Men and Micronauts, #1 in a 4-issue limited series. Gorgeous cover by Butch Guice and Bob Wiacek. Can't wait to share this with you guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button. Let's get right into it.
It's Troy TV. Comic book art critiques. Snark, sarcastic ways. Levels and geeky gaze. Aliens, comics, rule the day. Hurry up and turn that page. Michael FitzTroy.
Okay, so the Micronauts is a very complicated comic from Marvel Comics, like very popular, launched Michael Golden's legendary career pretty much. Killer art, great characters like Bug and Marionette, created Acro Year for like the Marvel Comics, although I think there might have been a toy of him. So what are you gonna do? You got the X-Men were like so popular at this time. They were miniseries were kind of a new thing. I'm sure they were looking for great projects. I mean, this is total fan service right here. X-Men and the Micronauts. Because of licensing and everything else, I'm sure this will never be recollected or reprinted. So do yourself a favor, stick around and look through this with me. Or go buy yourself a copy on eBay if you don't want to listen to me ramble. Anyway, I love this cover. Kitty and her Ariel costume. They were trying to make the Ariel costume happen, and like it appeared more in like miniseries and guest appearances than it did in the actual X-Men comic. I think it lasted like one issue, the green Ariel costume. Stan Lee presents The Marvelous Micronauts and The Uncanny X-Men. This is so cool. Chris Claremont and Bill Mantlo writers. Bill was the writer on Micronauts and Chris was on the X-Men, of course. Two of my favorite writers, actually, so that's cool. Butch Guice, penciler, Bob Wiacek, inker, Michael Higgins, letterer, Bob Sharon, colorist. It's funny, Butch Guice's art has always been there in comics, and I feel like he's one of those artists, depending on the inker, especially when he's inking himself. It's so good. And I think it was kind of hit or miss, but a lot of his stuff on Micronauts was good, and I think that a lot of it is not as good as Michael Golden's, but comfortably stands alongside it. Huntar, Acro Year, Bug, Fireflight, Commander Ran, and Marionette. My brother loved the Micronauts and collected them, so there were certain books that, you know, I kind of let him have. He let me have certain books. And then other books we collected together. Micronauts, I mean, if the X-Men are involved, I'm getting it, so there. Love this character. Is that Biotron? I mean, that's so cool. I feel like I only had like a couple of the little Micronauts, and some of my other friends had like the bigger, like magnetic ones and the cooler ones. But, you know, there's only so many toys you can get and collect and blah, 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 whatever. I mean, it's a shame that they can't reprint this because this definitely needs like a better printing. And this splash page is pretty killer right here. It's kind of cool that, Butch was drawing this since he did draw the Micronauts series. I feel like he had limited involvement in the X-Men, like aside from like fill-in issues here and there. But I mean, he's a great artist. It's so funny with Micronauts because it's like you're doing this, you know, comic book based on a toy line, and arguably like there's not much there as far as the toys are concerned. So you sort of, like, a lot of characters were created specifically for this story. I mean, how cool would it be to have, like, new updated toys of, like, action figures of Bug and Acro Year and freaking Marionette and Captain Ran? I mean, that would be so cool. I would love that. But let's not hold our breath, kids, because I don't think it's going to happen. It's interesting because, you know, Butch Guice did take over after Michael Golden, and I don't know if he was directly influenced by him. I think he must have been in a way, but you do see little glimpses of Golden in some of the, what do you call it? The rendering, I guess. I don't know. Such a cool character. The Micronauts are so cool. It's a damn shame they can't bring him back. I will tell you that. Like, why not? Just figure it out, guys. You know what I mean? Just pay somebody, buy the licenses, blah, 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 whatever. And this, you know, here I feel like Chris Claremont is all over this. Like, we're introducing the X-Men. You got this reminds me of like a great X-Men annual, you know, like sort of got to introduce new readers. Like, here we are at the X Mansion, Nightcrawler's by the pool, juggling, you know, bowling pins. I mean, it would be kind of fun. Who didn't want to live in the X Mansion when they were reading this? You know what I mean? I'd love to wake up, look out my window, and see Storm in the pool with Nightcrawler juggling bowling pins. And my best friend is Ilyana, my roommate. I mean, sure, she's, you know, a demon from Limbo, sorceress kind of thing happening. Oh, and the New Mutants. I love that the New Mutants were always, like, included in things like this because they're the New Mutants and they rock and they're so cool. The Danger Room. Do they still do stuff in the Danger Room in the X-Men? Probably not. It was like such a hallmark of like the X-Men comics back in the day, and just like so much fun. Like, you always knew that the X-Men had to have like a scene in the Danger Room. It's a fun transition shot of Rain turning into Wolfsbane. Chris Starr covered that comic book. I wish I had a bunch of Chris Starr toys. I mean, I wish I had a museum of all toys, all comics, and everything else I want, but I don't. A lot of great art here. I'm really sad about the printing here because it looks so muddy and gross, and like I would just love to see like a crystal clear print of this. Oh, the Micronauts came to the Danger Room. Shoot. I always kind of loved it when the X-Men got attacked in their own at the mansion. I don't know why it was fun, but it was. Bullpen bulletins. What else is going on in the Marvel Universe at this time? The Thing, Daredevil, New Mutants, Dazzler, Conan the King, Return of the Jedi, Moon Knight Special Edition, Marvel Retread, Amazing Spider-Man, Captain America, Thor, Indiana Jones, Moon Knight, Micronauts, Iron Man, Chris Starr, Magic, S.H.I.E.L.D., Incredible Hulk, Avengers. Yeah, see, things are so different. Alpha Flight, Epic Illustrated, X-Men Annual 7, X-Men Classics, Jack of Hearts, Defenders, Star Wars, Peter Parker. Wow. That's a cool ass shot right there. Kitty's always at the heart of everything, as she should be. Lockheed, that's awesome. Love that. The Prince is Dead. Very cool shot. I always remember this ad. Mike Kaluta, beautiful art. That's fun. I do love this iteration of the X-Men. It screams like Paul Smith, and that makes me happy. Next issue, Into the Abyss. Dark Savior. Anyway, X-Men, Micronauts, #1 in a 4-issue limited series. Bill Mantlo, Chris Claremont, Butch Guice, Bob Wiacek. Classic. Never see a reprint, sadly. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and I'll bring you more later.